It's Gorman in the morning with Fletcher and Ryder. Now, 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning on Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Good Monday morning. Oh, it's nice to be back.
Any guesses on what episode of Gorman in the morning we're about to start today?
100.
Oh, boy. I'm going to say it's
100.
I'm going to go with 100. Yes. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Right on.
Episode, we're in the triple digits. I'm real pumped.
I mean that's cool, but it's not nearly as cool as not realizing when we took a break that we had done 99.
Yeah.
We left it on 99.
Yes,
you
we
failed
did.
to mention that.
I'm
That
sorry
would have been
about
a lot
that.
of pressure.
It might have been too much pressure.
I'd much rather have to feel the pressure of 100 over 99. So we're up and rolling.
Oh, yeah.
It's a beautiful day.
Hey.
As they say, let's get to it, Paul Fletcher. What before headlines? There's something you wanted to say.
I was just going to say I'd much rather feel the pressure of 100 than the pressure of being canceled already. So we'll take it, right?
Well,
Sure.
Okay, fair enough. Man, let's just get right into it then.
All right.
Headlines, please, sir.
If you remember, the Farmer's Almanac said very cold and snowy. Old Farmer's Almanac said mild winter. Well, now science is chiming in. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, has issued a La Nina watch for 25-26, meaning there's about a 55% chance a weak La Nina will develop this fall and early winter before conditions return to neutral. That means the central and eastern Pacific Ocean cools more than usual. It typically causes the northern states, including Minnesota, to be colder and wetter than normal, while the southern states turn warmer and drier. So, according to that, colder and some snow.
Is that the winter wonder?
Okay.
We're doing winter wonderland here? Is that what science is saying?
Yep.
Winter wonderland.
First
All
one,
right.
first one said winter wonderland. Second one said mild, and this one I'm saying 2 out of 3. Let's go with winter wonderland. It's happening.
Okay.
Got to believe in something.
It's gonna
I
have
need
to
to-
stock up on supplies.
Buy some new snow boots right now.
Buy
Yes.
out the toilet
it.
paper and the soup. Damn
Yeah.
it. All right.
Damn straight.
Authorities in Egypt dismantled Stream East. I'd never even heard of this before this went down. Once the world's largest illegal sports streaming network. It all went down on August 24th, and it led to the arrest of 2 suspects. The site is notorious for unauthorized streaming of high-profile events like NFL games and Premier League matches. They drew some 1.6 billion visitors over the past year, but investigators also found it was a money laundering scheme that funneled approximately $6.2 million in ad revenue through a shell
Hey.
company based in the UAE.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
We just can't have nice things anymore, can we?
No.
It's always got to be the money laundering, or maybe that's just me. Sorry, did I say that? Did I say that on the mic? I don't know anything about money laundering. Next.
What? Hey,
don't
Foreigner.
know.
How about this? Foreigner has officially asked to be a part of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's love story.
The band Foreigner.
Yes, they want. Oh, check this out. They posted on Instagram, "Dear Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, we know what love is. We spent 40 years figuring it out, and now you guys have too. Please accept this as our formal offer to be your wedding band. Best wishes, Foreigner."
My money's on
come on.
DJ.
Be the biggest show they've played in years. I'll tell you that right now.
I tell you what, that'd get Lou Graham off the bench. I mean, he'd come back into the game, see if he's still got anything left in the tank.
Neither Travis or Taylor have publicly responded to the offer. It's unclear if they're big fans or not. Really quick, one other super quick nugget of music news. Sex Pistols Steve Jones broke his wrist. So their North American tour has been postponed. We don't have any details on how this is going to impact the show here, whether it's canceled, postponed, but just thought I would share that. That's a bummer. Hopefully he recoups fast.
That is a real drag. Was looking forward to my first ever Sex Pistols show.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hopefully it'll still happen.
Yeah.
According to a report, 47% of Americans would pay more for a vacation that helps them sleep. And 38% would be interested in a vacation that's, quote, designed to help their sleep. And apparently sleep travel could be an emerging trend. People have been Googling getaways like wellness travel, sleep resort, and quiet vacation. Oh, by the way, Madison, Wisconsin, and St. Paul scored well in this report for having the right balance of health, environment, and lifestyle to support quality sleep. Just thought I'd throw that in there. Score one for St. Paul.
My return to the Twin Cities was simply to get some sleep after the last week. Not much happening in the terms of sleep, I was like, I've got to get home because I'm exhausted from this trip. Absolutely true story.
All right, a familiar face from St. Paul is heading to Studio 8H, Tommy Brennan Schneeman, who graduated from Cretin-Durham Hall in 2012 and is a good friend of our friend Pete Lee, I learned over the weekend. Cool. He's officially joined the cast of Saturday Night Live.
Nice.
After high school, he attended Notre Dame, pursued stand-up comedy full-time in 2018, appearing on Fallon, Comedy Central, and more. He's had millions of views online at various platforms. I'm sure that helped him get noticed. So there you go. Local St. Paul kid getting on the Saturday Night Live. That's a tough one to get, too.
A tough one to get, a tougher one to hang on to.
Yeah, that's true.
Did he went from Cretin-Durham Hall to Notre Dame?
Yeah.
Does SNL need to get an Irish mascot just to keep him?
Maybe.
We'll see.
Probably. SNL, by the way, returns for season 51 with Tommy on October 4th. Queen is preparing to launch their own branded wine label by trademarking their crest logo for use on bottles. The band previously ventured into drinks branding with Killer Queen vodka in 2014, suggesting that any wine under the Queen name will be treated as more than a novelty product. The filing indicates the Queen intends to retain direct control over the image and presentation of any wine label to safeguard quality and authenticity. A lot of artists, bands, etc. have gotten into this space, if you will. So Queen apparently is next.
Wait,
I think
they didn't steal that logo from a wine bottle? That Queen logo wasn't already stolen from booze?
Well played.
Yeah, really. I think how that works is somebody comes up to you and says, "Hey, I love your records. I already make something you'll never understand. Do you want to go in on it with me?" Sure.
We'll put our we'll slap our logo on the front of it. The wine bottles are expected to feature the ornate crest designed by Freddie Mercury. So no, they didn't steal it from a wine bottle. Ryder.
Okay. Inspired by.
That's right. Sure, maybe.
Yeah.
And it says likely becoming available later this year or 2026. Powerball players in Missouri and Texas won the estimated $1.8 billion jackpot on Saturday, overcoming astronomical odds to end the lottery game's 3-month drought without a big winner. So we went that long without a winner, then we got two. So it's it's almost like a wah-wah because they're going to have to split it. So it's like $410 million only each.
Oh, poor babies.
Well, it's like, man, if you invest it well, you got to wait at least a decade to become a proper billionaire.
I know. It's messed up, dude. You hit the 1.8 and then you have to only get 410. And we started playing, too. And I'm shocked that we didn't win.
So close, I'm sure.
Heart-wrenching.
I will admit to having purchased in the last week 3 Powerball tickets.
Same.
3 different times. I was like, you know what? What's another couple bucks going to cost? And the answer's $6, which I wish I had.
Correct. Do you always do quick pick or do you pick your own numbers?
Almost always quick pick, but one time this week I did. It was through the machine. I did my own numbers.
Same. I did 2 quick picks and one of my own. That's really special. Uber has started.
It's great to be losers together.
We're out $12. Uber has started testing a new form of payment. Can you guys guess what it is?
Some kind of can I
tickets?
Venmo now? Yes.
Cash. Cash. Uber says the idea is to expand access to people without bank accounts, but drivers are concerned they'll be targeted by thieves. I also think it's interesting. They want to target those that don't have bank accounts. You still have to have a phone.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how this is going to work. It is optional for drivers, although they're concerned about being targeted by thieves. They have a setting on their end that can be set to accept cash or not. So Uber Cash.
Nothing like working for years tirelessly to get rid of cash to then realize maybe we should bring cash back. Okay,
yeah, maybe we should have cash more often. Yeah, for sure. That's what I got.
We're destroying jobs and we're bringing back cash. They got they got their timeline's way out of base, way awry right now. Let's talk sports quickly. Over the weekend, you may have noticed that the Minnesota Gophers, for the second time, talking Gopher football all day long around here, they put up over 60 points against Northwestern State.
Unreal.
35 points in the first quarter. That's the most in program history for a first quarter. But here's the main takeaway. The Gophers scored so many times and put so many points on the board, they ran out of fireworks.
Oh.
That's hilarious.
Shame.
This has never happened.
Yeah, I mean, think about that. It's like, wait, I'm sorry. What's happening here?
Yeah, what?
When it's 66-0, you got to have a lot of fireworks, and they did not prepare. Again, it was Northwestern State, not Northwestern State, which, of course, I had to Google, and I've been watching college football my whole life.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's in Louisiana.
Oh, okay. I think they are, aren't they right next to, don't they share a campus with Cupcake Central?
Man,
Yeah.
that is a tough one. You come all the way to Minnesota and someone spots 66 on you, and runs out of fireworks. The big board at the stadium said, "Oh, we ran out of fireworks." Pretty
That's
good.
funny.
The Minnesota Twins baseball team won a game yesterday, 5-1 over the Royals.
Wow.
It had been a while since they'd won a game.
Yeah.
They are now 63-80. The only thing of note, Byron Buxton had his 30th home run of the year. He has 21 stolen bases. That makes him only the second Twin ever with a 30-20 season. Kirby Puckett in 1986, and now only the second Twin with 30 home runs and 20 stolen bases. Can he get 9 more to become the first ever 30-30 Twin? I don't know what else he'd be trying to do.
Why not?
I imagine every game now, if Buxton gets to first, just know he's going for second.
That's right.
Good luck
There
to
you
you,
go.
sir. There's nothing else to get excited about.
Silver linings, friends. Silver linings.
7:15 tonight. Toe meets leather.
Oh,
Let's go, Minnesota Vikings.
Oh.
In Chicago, the J.J. McCarthy era will be underway. Now, if you remember, 2 years ago in the 24 draft, Caleb Williams, your Bears quarterback, was the number 1 pick. J.J. went number 10. It would be nice for J.J. to give the Bears faithful something else to ponder.
Yeah.
Of course, this is the same team that traded up years ago to take Mitch Trubisky ahead of Patrick Mahomes.
Good call. Good call, Aguado.
Ben Johnson's first game as an NFL head coach. Hopefully it'll be a lot like the Lions' first game without him yesterday, at least for us. Ryder, did you happen to see that the Lions played football yesterday?
I noticed that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
went
actually,
into Green Bay and didn't really have the day they were hoping for.
No, really missing the pride of Chanhassen High School center Frank Ragnow yesterday. Like, a lot.
That's exactly right.
Very much so.
I tweeted you support. I tweeted you a photo of stinky cheese that was meant to be support, and it didn't
was
work out
it?
very well. Yeah.
I try and stay off the socials during the game because I don't want to get cocky. So that's
Nothing to get cocky about yesterday.
no.
For the record, tonight's opener, the Vikings are favored on the road by 1.5 points. I do think Brian Flores and the defense will carry this one. Caleb Williams is about to have so many rushes. I mean, blitzes and all sorts of people running at him. It's going to be a long day.
Purple
hopefully, for
reckoning.
Caleb Williams. Burnsville. Good morning, Burnsville, Minnesota. Glad to
Hello,
have you with us this
Blaze.
morning.
Yeah. Buck
Come
Hill.
on.
Buck Hill, Kevin Gorg. What more do you need? That's a loaded town.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. That is Wonderwall from Oasis. The last time I heard that song was Saturday night, second to the last song of the set.
Nice.
I saw Oasis at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California, and I will just echo every single thing everybody else on the planet has said. The show was mind-bogglingly great in a way that I was not anticipating. I thought I would enjoy it,
Okay.
but I didn't think I would go to church, and that's what
Okay.
it was. It was 60 or 70,000 people singing every word to every song.
Oh, really?
Not one person sat down that I was aware of the entire time. And I was there with my 25-year-old son, who, like so many of his generation, has decided Oasis really is the greatest thing since the Beatles. And him watching the show with him and going through the whole process with him, a band he never thought he'd get a chance to see.
Yeah.
You know, it
Right.
just, it's still, and he ran into a buddy there, and the two of them, I've never seen people enjoy a show more in my life. And I just couldn't get over how great it was. It really was. They sounded better than they've ever sounded. But top to bottom. And by the way, Cage the Elephant opened.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're legit.
Never seen them. What a band.
Yeah, they're great.
They're really solid, and the
Yeah.
singer's great. What a performer. So I was in such a great mood. I was like, such a nice surprise. Like, hey, I like a young band.
Yeah.
They've been around 15 years, but to me, they're a young band.
Yeah.
But then Oasis came out, and just like I said, like every single person that's talked about seeing them, they don't do much. They stand there. They just deliver song after song after song after song. And it's all about just the reaction and how much this music means to people. It was genuinely my favorite thing I've done in years. I can't remember a show I left in a better mood.
That's so cool.
And I'm real good at nitpicking bands. I mean, I'm kind of a jerk about it. I walked out of there just floating with everybody else in the stadium. It was awesome. And I'm still quite literally exhausted from it.
I can tell.
I need a nap.
That's pretty.
I need a nap, man.
That's pretty fantastic. So it was largely just the feeling amongst everybody, right? That's what made it so like church-like. Just the reaction from everyone.
Well, they did sound great, and I've seen Oasis a bunch in the past, and they were always okay live. I never saw like some amazing show. This was an amazing show. Everybody played great. The sound was crystal clear and overpowering at the same time, and just I don't know. There was just such an intent. They're so. You can tell they're so thrilled to have this opportunity again.
That's cool,
and it's bigger than they probably imagined. Every single element about it was just outstanding. Yeah, fantastic. And so if you can get down to Mexico City real fast and see them this week, go for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so super quick question. Our friend Stephen Hayden had said best stadium show he has seen in his life. Where would you rank it as far as stadium shows that you have seen? Would you put it number one?
It's my favorite for sure.
Okay.
And I've seen... I've been to I've seen Taylor Swift as a dad with my daughter at a stadium show, and the production and that kind of show, there's no comparison. It's apples and oranges. But for me, just as a fan, and again, it was really rare. I didn't feel like a musician. I know those guys. I wasn't even thinking of it like that. Like I felt like a fan. It really was overwhelming. It's so rare.
That's amazing.
That I kind of forget that I've been behind the curtain and just enjoy a show like I would have. I felt like a kid. I was there with my 25-year-old son, and I felt like I was 25.
That's
Truly,
awesome.
I have goosebumps again just talking about it. It was really, really great.
I'm curious. I hear you on all of that. I'm curious. Are the visuals as stunning as they look on social media? Like, it just looks like a giant wall of visuals, and it looks. And I guess given that they don't do much, it probably really accents the show pretty well, huh?
Yeah, they're fantastic. The visuals are great, but then they're up there a ton. You just see guys standing there playing their instruments too. They show the band in person. It's just really, it's a perfect mix. And at the end, and unlike the Minnesota Gophers, Oasis did not run out of fireworks. Because let me tell you something, as Champagne Supernova is winding down and the night's over, it's not like the Rolling Stones. Here's 30 seconds of fireworks. It was like 5 minutes of fireworks.
That's awesome.
Like, holy crap, what's the firework budget for this tour?
Wow.
Outstanding night. And I will be stunned if they're not on the road again next year.
Okay.
Why would you turn this faucet off? Nothing but love. And also, real quick, so many people having such a good time. Leaving the stadium. I'd never been to the Rose Bowl for a game or a concert or anything. There's like 6 exits in the whole place. We were standing for 20 minutes before we even took one step out of our aisle. Like it's such a slow. The egress is forever. And all anybody was doing was laughing, talking, high-fiving. It never got weird. Everybody walked out. It took, we walked back. I had a friend who has a house really close, about a mile away. But the getting out of the stadium took longer than the mile walk to the house. But the whole time it was just happy. People are singing, whistling. It was
awesome.
Nuts. I think we'd all been dosed, actually, now that I think about it. I just realized. Yeah, we were all microdosing somehow. Whoo, baby. With school being back in full swing, we're thinking about teachers and students and how often it happens in life when you see either as a teacher one of your students or as a student one of your teachers in a place outside of school.
In the wild.
Which is to say exactly, though anywhere you shouldn't ever see a teacher and or a student. Those relationships are perfect in school, and outside of school, they're just always weird at best.
Yeah.
So if you're a teacher, where's the weirdest, worst possible, what's a story where you bumped into some students and went, I can't believe this is happening? Or vice versa. Ever bump into one of your teachers and think to yourself, this is pretty bad? I had an incredible experience for me personally, and then to add icing to it at the end, it involved a teacher. When I was in 9th grade, a movie came out called 10 with Bo Derek and Dudley Moore. And it was a hilariously funny rated R adult comedy that for reasons that will forever mystify me, my parents said, we're going to see a movie. Do you want to come with me?
Wow.
Or do you want to come along? To me, a 9th grader.
Wow.
Sure.
Okay. this has come up before, this movie 10 with Bo Derek.
Yes.
I believe there are orgies in it. Is that true or false?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
This is okay. Not only was it the first nudity on the big screen I ever experienced, it wasn't fleeting nudity. It was there are orgy scenes. There is lengthy, full nudity going on. And again, I'm 14 years old with my parents, losing my mind. Way more than I was ready for. When the movie ended, I've never been happier to be out of a room in my life. The level of discomfort was beyond anything I was able to process.
I can only imagine.
And we're walking out of the theater. And who's there but our school's guidance counselor, and he's by himself.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, Mr. Finkel. There he was.
Oh boy, he's got a
Real
name like, and his name's Mr. Finkel. Oh my God!
And I saw him in the lobby. We looked at each other, and he just nodded and like, hey. And he looked at me and my parents and just, hey, good to see you, and kept going. And I was like embarrassed. I remember thinking like, oh my God, he's gonna know that I'm freaking out at all the nudity. Who knows what's going on in my mind. And then my dad, of course, goes, what kind of weirdo goes to the movies alone? And
right.
That made me feel better because, my daddy was kind of a jerk like that. So that was just the first one that came to mind. At a time when I was completely, I was dispossessed of all rational thought. And then to bump into this guy who had also seen that movie, and he's there by his lonesome, as they say. And I thought, oh, wow. Later in life, it did dawn on me. Boy, he was not having a good life.
Did you get any sense of like at that time, was he like, like a loner at the school as a guidance counselor? Was he a weirdo, or was it just like out of place and just like kind of out of left field?
Honestly, a great dude. Looking back, a wonderful guy. But that moment was just very strange.
Yeah, I can imagine.
This is a guy who, I lost a bet at soccer practice one day. Again, since you asked, long story short, I had to streak in front of the cheerleaders. I lost a bet, and I had to run through cheerleader practice completely nude as an 8th grader, which I did.
Damn.
There was a bunch of seniors that were going to beat me up if I didn't do it.
Right.
And so... and word got around, and the next day I was asked to go to Mr. Finkel's office, and I walked into school, and he looked at me and he goes, anything you want to talk about? And I go, no. And he goes, okay, this whole running around the cheerleaders naked thing, and I'm like, oh my God, yeah. He goes, is it going to happen again? I said, nope. He goes, okay, cool. That was it. He's like, all right, just making sure. And he goes, because if it happens again, we're really going to have to deal. And I said, no, that's a one-off. Anyway,
it's
cool
a one-off
dude right there. Yeah. That's what it was. Either one of you guys got any of these? You ever bump into a teacher at an odd place, Ryder?
No, none of my teachers actually were human. They were all robots who existed only in the school.
You.
No, I think that's the benefit of moving out of the town you grew up in when you're like 23 is you never ever see anybody as an adult.
Yeah.
Like you get to skip all of those post-high school awkward encounters.
I wonder if they had a room that they if they shut down the robots and they just put them in the room, and then when the school opened again, they activated them and they came out of the room and came and taught.
Yes, that was the janitor's job. He was secretly a computer wizard.
Wow. All right.
Hey, speaking of, my senior year, I was on the janitorial staff, if you will, the custodial staff. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was working. I had keys to the whole school. I was in there. I was cleaning up. I worked a lot.
Student janitor.
Two seniors every year. Well, my year, there were two of us. They just needed help. Small school, not a lot going on.
Kind of cool.
Needed the cash.
Yeah.
And had keys to everything. And I did go in there one day on a Sunday and saw two teachers that had been in one of their offices, and they looked up like, "Oh, hey, well, Steve, what's going on here?" And I was like, "Wow, they were acting weird." Went home, said something to my older brother, and he was like, yeah, it's because you caught them. And I was like, it hadn't even occurred to me. I was
they
like,
were hooking up?
Apparently so. And then later it turned out they absolutely were. They both left their spouses and married each other.
Oh.
And I didn't even pick up on it. That's how dumb I was. I was like, I can't believe I got to come clean up on a Sunday. And a soap opera was dropped into my lap and I didn't even recognize it.
Holy smokes.
Weird encounters with former teachers and or students. Shirley from Cold Spring is on the horn. Shirley, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Great, thank you, dear. What do you got for us?
Well, I'm a principal right now, but back when I was 15, I had my fake ID because I was dating my 23-year-old boyfriend.
Oh.
Volleyball captain, and ran into my volleyball coach at the bar.
Whoops. Whoops.
Is this a bar that's still in existence, Shirley?
Yes, but it's called a different name, and I kind of, it didn't go so well.
No? How did Coach react?
She said, "What are you doing here?" And I'm like, "I'm dancing." And then she just said, "Get out." So I'm like, "Okay." And then
Wow.
15-year-old team captain with the fake ID. Of course, you were going to end up as a principal. You were way ahead of the curve. You were always a step ahead. Thanks so much for the call, Shirley. You don't get a lot of calls from principals these days.
That was
not nearly enough, I should say.
She was just doing research.
How about this? Here's one that came in. I was teaching preschool and also working at a topless bar. I saw a dad of a student at last call and then saw him again at the school's early drop-off at 6 a.m.
Hey, good parenting.
Wow.
He made it to where he needed to be on time.
That's right.
Yes.
That's exactly right. There's nothing wrong with pulling an all-nighter as long as you stay awake into the morning hours.
As long as you acknowledge your responsibilities, that's all that matters.
I got into an Uber blackout drunk, and my driver was a student's parent. That's obviously from a teacher.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
You know.
It's awkward, but whatever. People got to do what they got to do.
But did he take cash? That's the question.
Right.
As we've discussed today, Uber's taking cash again. Just
blame
had
it
to
on
throw
the
that out there.
blackout at that point.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Totally.
exactly right. So 65199 Rock, if you have a story to add, please feel free. There's plenty more to get into on the show today. Hey, check this out. Elizabeth Ries is coming in studio at like 8:25.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
Come on.
Nice.
All right. Like most weekends in September, it was a very big weekend in the world of sports. You had the U.S. Open. You had football left, right, and center taking over. It was a very exciting time. But the biggest story might very well be a woman in Philadelphia. They're calling her Phillies Karen. A fan in a Phillies jersey and hat basically stole a home run ball. If you didn't see the story, a home run is hit. It goes into the bleachers, into the seats. And a gentleman and a woman both reach down to try to grab the ball. The dude gets it first, walks back down the aisle, and hands it to his son. His young son. Here, I got you this ball. Here it is. The kid is euphoric.
Yes.
And the woman, who, again, they're calling her Phillies Karen, runs down the aisle and insists, you took the ball. She takes the ball away from the dad and the little kid and goes back to her seat. And of course, because this was all captured on cameras and it's all over social media, she was outed at first improperly. The wrong person was accused.
Oh,
Some
no,
woman
that
who
sucks.
shared a similar name is like on social media for days going, it's not me. I'm a Red Sox fan. I wasn't even there. But anyway, long story short, it's pretty crazy to watch what looks to be, safe to say, a middle-aged woman, probably in her 50s, taking a ball away from a little kid. But anyway, after the whole thing is now blown up, the dad in this situation, his name is Drew, and his little kid, Lincoln, were on a local TV station explaining exactly how it went down.
As soon as it cracked off the bat, it was starting to head our way a little bit. It fell and kind of bobbled between the two armrests, and I picked it up, and I just walked away and held the ball up high and put it in Lincoln's glove. And then she showed up. As she reached for my arm, she just yelled in my ear, "That's my ball!" Like super loud. I jumped out of my skin. Then she's like, "Those are from our seats." And I said, "There was nobody in that seat." I pretty much just wanted her to go away and be dad and show him how to de-escalate the situation. So that's where I went.
I wasn't very happy that we had to give it to her, but we can't win. She was going to get it anyways.
Okay, first things first. Her thing is, the ball was in our seats. And
No, they weren't.
No one cares.
Yeah.
It's not in your hand. That's what matters. You didn't catch it. It hit the ground. It hit the seats. It's a free ball. You don't get to claim it. It's not like it's in your glove. It's in a seat where nobody was sitting. And then secondly, I guess props to the dad for saying, well, I want to teach my son how to de-escalate a situation.
Yes.
I'll be the first to tell you, were that me with a young Gorman child, say 15, 20 years ago, I wouldn't have been thinking de-escalation. I would have been saying, hey, lady, I don't know who you think you are, but this is not going to end well for you. Get away from that baseball.
Yeah. The dad is getting dragged like crazy for being a beta dad and not an alpha dad. And I think he actually showed his son a proper way to handle things. I mean, maybe not giving up the ball, but he's like, I don't need to create something out of this, especially given that there's cameras everywhere and you've got a male and a female locked in a battle. If he tries to win this, I don't think it looks good for him.
I think when you have a 7-year-old kid with you and everyone sees this woman come over and demand something that you've already given your child, I don't know. And you may very well be right. I'm just saying this.
Yeah.
In the moment, there's no way I would have thought I'm going to be the bigger person here. I would have just been I would have been so baffled by, who do you think you are taking a ball from my kid?
Any
and
kid.
then
Yeah,
exactly.
100%.
Yeah, if I saw that happen to someone else's kid, I would at least be saying, "Yo, lady, what's wrong with you?" It's pretty nuts.
Yeah,
Right.
But
I
again,
don't disagree
before, it's just another day in Philly, is what it is.
Yeah, 1,000%.
fair.
That is the one thing that we can definitely say here with 100% certainty.
Andy is chiming in on the text line saying it was the kid's birthday too. I don't know if that's confirmed or not, but I think he got it made up to him.
Yeah,
that's that is, what, you're right. I'm glad. I almost forgot. There was the team saw it happen. A Marlins employee found him in the stands, brought him a big gift bag. The Phillies arranged for a meet and greet with Harrison Bader, the guy that hit the home run.
Former Twin.
Gave the kid a signed bat, exactly. And then, check this out. The CEO of Camping World, a guy named Marcus Lemonis, saw the story, and he offered the family a trip to a World Series game as well as a free RV.
There you go.
Wait a minute.
What?
Well, if that's the case, then beta me up, boys. Give me a free RV and a trip to Disney World. This is crazy. Or a trip to the World Series, I should say.
Even better.
That's what I'm saying, because I probably would have handled it the exact same way you did. You know what I mean? Like, I would have blown up. I don't think I would have. So that's why I think this dude deserves extra credit, because he actually was able to keep himself calm. And they're getting a trip to the World Series out of the deal.
Our buddy Jimmy from Chaska says the Karen versus the Triggered Hippie would be a killer band name, and he is not wrong.
Okay, fair enough.
Wow.
Always good to know. Hey, Elizabeth Ries, our buddy from Twin Cities Live, she's coming by to stop into the studio, which is always a pleasure. We'll be hanging out with Elizabeth Ries in about 5 minutes and 2 songs.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. It is Monday, September the 8th, and I'm very happy to say that Elizabeth Ries is in studio. Nothing puts a smile on all of our faces more. Good morning, dear. Hey!
I'm going to do my best. Yes.
You hear me? Can you see me? I'm
10-4.
Good morning, friends. Thanks for inviting me back. I love when I get the invite. It's so fun to hang out with you all.
We are always very, very happy to have you with us. Before we look ahead, let's look back. Minnesota State Fair, how many times did you find yourself on the grounds this summer?
9 times.
Ooh.
8 shows
9.
and then 1 bonus time. 9 times on the ground, everybody.
Oh, man, that is a solid commitment, my friend. All positive? Anything go awry, or was it all above board?
You know, it's the state fair, so there's always a couple weird interactions just because it takes all kinds. But for the most part, it was super positive. The weather was amazing, and that makes it for me because, you know, our show's at 3 in the afternoon. I'm a born and raised Minnesotan, and so if it's 95 and humid, I am complaining to anyone within earshot. I can't take it. Like, my body was not built for this. It's not. But when it's 75 and cool and a breeze, I'm thinking I could do this all month. This is great.
Yeah.
Very nice. Elizabeth Ries is in studio with us. What was the hot item? Was it the corn? Was it was it some sort of new deep fried anything? Did you have something new for the first time? And then what did you have the most of?
Okay, well, I still am thinking about the deep fried s'mores that I had from Lulu's, and I had only 1 bite of those, but it was so good because I like the flavor of s'mores, but I always find store-bought graham crackers and marshmallows to be highly disappointing. And you know, so this was like, it was sort of like a cream cheese wonton, but with s'more filling instead. And it was Totally delicious. The other thing that I loved, and this isn't, there's 2 drinks that I loved, which was the Farmers Union did this maple cream nitro cold brew coffee that has kind of ruined me for other coffees. And my favorite cider company, which is based in Duluth, they do hard cider. It's called Wild State Cider. I love them so much. They did a dragon fruit cider specifically for O'Gara's, and I am on a one-woman mission to make sure that they will make it a full-time flavor that we can get, because it was phenomenal. And it was like the most beautiful pink color. It was so fun.
Nice.
Very cool.
All right. Very
awesome.
good.
I had the s'mores
that.
too.
So,
The s'mores were good, right?
I thought it was a bit much, actually. I was kind of surprised that that was the thing that stood out to you. But, I get with it. I mean, I like sweets. And
I think
good.
you're showing your weakness, Fletcher. If it's a little much for you, then, you got to amp it up, buddy.
Wow. All right. Thought we were friends. That's fine.
We are.
You guys are both allergic to humidity, and there's a s'more thing going on. There's more common ground than uncommon ground here.
Fair enough.
Let's just play fair. So, and now back getting into the grind of another school year with your kids, very much that age. Are they excited to go back? Are they dreading it? What's the family scene like?
They're in pretty good shape. So this is week 3 because my kids actually start before Labor Day. They started on August 25th. Yeah. So I've got a 5th grader in the house, a 2nd grader in the house, and then our last year of preschool for the little guy. And they've been pretty good. Fletcher and I were just talking off air about the struggle of shifting the bedtimes and getting out the door.
Yeah.
And I do find myself in the morning, it's like I work at my TV station at home where I'm like, okay, 30 seconds, we gotta go. It's a 1.5 minute countdown until the, dad's bus has to leave. It's like, oh gosh. So actually then I left. I got them out the door and then I just breathed a little bit and left and then came to visit you and it was quite relaxing.
Nice.
Well, glad to provide a service for anybody that needs. So, if you need to be relaxed, come see us in the morning. So that's an odd perk to showing up this early.
Correct.
Hey, so you mentioned earlier, born and bred, you're a dyed-in-the-wool Minnesotan. How do you feel on opening day of the NFL season? Is there dread? Is there anticipation? Are you? Because we're putting together a Monday morning mixtape, songs that reflect our feelings for our team heading into the season. And Fletcher came right out with "Won't Get Fooled Again" for the Minnesota Vikings.
I think it's fair.
There's a lot of, I understand, there's generational pain, multi-generational pain. Where do you sit at the precipice of a new season before Monday night's kickoff?
Okay, well, I'm gonna reveal something here, and I'll probably get some hate mail. But guys, yes, I am a born and raised Minnesotan, but that's only because I was born and raised here. My dad was born and raised just outside of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and so we are die-hard Packers fans in our house. So we always feel good going into a new season, everybody. We're ready to rock. We're ready to roll. I got plans to go to Lambeau when the Vikings go to Lambeau.
Oh, look at you.
The week before Thanksgiving. And we had a fantastic showing against the Lions yesterday. So things are looking good in our house. My dad, was a Lutheran minister when I was growing up, and we would joke that he would preach about 50% the gospel of Jesus Christ and a solid 50% the life lessons from Vince Lombardi. Just during football season. Just during this, just in the first few weeks.
Steve, you remember that common ground? It's starting to slip away.
Oh, yeah. No, it's just crumbling right in front of our eyes.
I know. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's the one, for many years, what's funny about it is I was never even allowed to talk about that on TV.
Oh, really?
Because when you do research on media personalities, which is what all stations do, right? I'm sure they have a giant file on you guys over here.
Not me.
Well, yeah.
Squeaky clean.
Yeah, so they find that Minnesotans can't stand Packers fans more than anything else. And but over time, they kind of got used to it. And then my co-host, Ben Lieber, of course, used to play for the Minnesota Vikings. He loves the rivalry. And so once he came on board, it became a little bit more of a free-for-all. We have some fun with it.
Man, I'm just thinking about, of all the crosses to bear in life, and then a Packer fan in the Twin Cities your whole life. Surely there's been moments. I mean, as a kid, in school, you had to have taken a few shots here and there. People were letting you know what they felt.
Yeah, I know. But, my dad was like, he really instilled it on us. It was like a couple of things, It was like, you got to believe in the Lord. You got to cheer for the Packers, and then you got to contribute to your 401k. And those were like the three things that he said. This is what we've got to do.
Death, taxes, and Green Bay Packers.
That's it.
That's the three certainties.
Listen, I just got here 3 years ago, but I raised, our kids were raised in Nashville, Tennessee. My son to this day will say, like, you could have picked any team. We didn't have to pick the Titans up. We could have just cheered from afar, and he'll never forgive me for that. I'm like, yep, sorry, man. My bad. Who knew? And at least with the Packers thing, you have pretty good, reasonable expectation every year. They're going to draft well. They're going to develop some good talent. It's a pretty solid organization over there.
It is, yeah. And if you haven't been to Lambeau, make the pilgrimage because it's worth it. It's always worth going. I think even Vikings fans will say they like getting to Lambeau.
I will say I went to one Vikings at Packers.
Great.
It is crazy how you drive through nothing.
Nothing.
And then all of a sudden you come upon nothing except for there's this giant stadium.
I know.
It's crazy.
It has changed even a lot in the last 5 or 7 years. Because, I worked there. So I worked at the ABC station in Green Bay when I was in my 20s. And there was nothing. It was a Kmart, a Shopko, a Red Lobster right next to the stadium.
Right.
And then it was just this giant stadium. It's so bananas. And then now they've really built it up. I mean, there's cool breweries. There's like a sledding hill. There's a ton. There's the Kohler opened this amazing hotel and spa right across from the stadium. So things are looking up in the old Green Bay, guys. And there was room for improvement, frankly.
This segment brought to you by the Green Bay Department of Tourism. Elizabeth Ries is in studio with us. Hey, with your kids going back to school, we also were talking about this, Elizabeth. Maybe you have a story that you can remember, maybe not. Weird places that you bumped into a teacher, or then sometimes teachers shared stories about running into students. But when you look back on your career as a student, like go back to high school or middle school, did you ever have an embarrassing moment in the real world with a teacher? Ryder shared with us. She never did. All of her teachers actually were robots. They only existed within the school. She somehow skirted this potentially embarrassing situation. Anything come to mind?
Well, you always run into somebody at Target. So for sure,
Yeah.
I'm sure I had teacher run-ins at Target. The funniest thing about teachers now is I remember when I was a freshman in high school at Apple Valley, go Eagles, and and we had these teachers that were, at the time, I didn't even realize, I thought they were so old. I thought,
of course,
these are old people that are teaching me. And then now when I see that a couple of them still teach at that school, and I had the realization that these guys must have been 23 teaching us at Apple Valley High School. Because now they still don't seem that old. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what a strange shift in perspective.
My high school, the guy who taught history when I was there went on to become eventually the principal, called all the shots. Then he stepped down. He still teaches. He's just done, it's a small school in a small town. So he's worn every possible hat. He just celebrated his 50th year at the school.
Ooh. No.
And when I put that together, I was like, oh, when we started there, he was just out of college.
Just out of college.
And of course, he was Mr. Dennison, the old grumpy history guy. Wait a minute. He was 23 years old. And we thought he was old. We thought he was absolutely in his 50s back then.
Oh, for sure.
He was just kind of a drab, not so performative, a pretty dry, droll sense of humor. Yeah, he was 2 years out of college at most.
Plus,
incredible.
Even then, it's when I look back to my teenage years in the 90s, being 40, you might as well have been 100 if you were 40.
100%.
Well, I remember my dad turning 40, and we went on a trip as a family. I was 14, and I thought, this guy is so old. Guys, I had my last baby at 39. I'm going, what is happening here?
Things change. We evolved, right? We've gotten
better.
We've gotten younger.
Yeah, we've gotten better at being a little hotter longer.
Right.
That's good.
Hotter longer.
Drink a lot of water.
I told a story not that long ago. In 1990, when I was on the road for the first time, my band opened for Robert Plant for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And the first date of that tour was at Red Rocks. So two things cool. First of all, first time at Red Rocks. And secondly, we just met Robert Plant, and now we're going to open for him. And we're on the side of the stage watching him perform, and we are all going, I can't believe he can still do it. And he looks good, too. He was 42.
No.
And we thought, how is he still up there? No, well, my God, he still looks good. He still sounds good. He was 42, and we've thought that's the same thing as 70. We couldn't believe it. And, of course, now that he's pushing 80, oh, by the way, he's still doing it.
He's still doing it. And at the time,
changed.
You were like, I can't believe this guy can even move his legs across the stage. This is unbelievable.
What I wouldn't give for the 42-year-old me to come back strong. That'd be fantastic right now.
Right.
I'd welcome it back. What's going on with the chickens lately? Anything?
Chickens are really good. Listen, they're living their best life. Just gave them a couple apple cores this morning, and they really love that. That's very exciting. And they are growing. We got a couple new ones this summer. We were down to 2, then we lost 1, and then you got to get a few more. So do you guys know that chickens the pecking order is a real thing?
Really?
Oh, my gosh. Their personalities.
The one time you can actually use the term pecking order, and it's literal.
And it is literal, yes. And so the pecking order is so real. And so we had this one chicken, and her name is Garfield, okay? My kids named her Garfield. And she's a Brahma, so she's big. She's really big. That's the breed. She's a big, beautiful chicken. If you guys went to the poultry barn, which I hope you did at the fair, then you would know these things. And she has feathers on her feet, and she's very fun. So the problem, though, is when you bring new chickens into a flock, they have to, get used to each other. And the one on the top of the pecking order, who obviously that was Garfield because she was the only one, they show that they're the boss. So you have to put these little glasses on them. They're called peepers. They're these little peepers. I wish I had a picture to show you. If you look up chicken peepers, you will see this. You won't get any creepy, weird porn stuff. It'll just be peepers. I know that sounds kind of weird, but so they're like these little glasses, and you attach them to their nostrils, and then they sit on there, and it just impedes their vision just enough so that they're a little tiny bit off kilter, so they won't go after the other chickens. So if you have a mean one in the flock, you have to put the peepers on them. And so it was very exciting because we had to put the peepers on Garfield. She had them on. Ideally, you want to have them on for a week, but she was still being really hostile to the other chickens and wouldn't let them up in the coop and all this stuff. So we ended up having to have them on her for almost a month. But now we removed the peepers, and all is well on the frontier.
She's such a Brahma. Oh,
she's a Brahma.
What color?
What
color peepers?
They were hot pink peepers.
Hot pink.
And then you can even get, some people will buy those little self-adhesive googly eyes and then attach them.
I see them.
Yes.
That's what I'm mostly seeing is the googly eyes.
Chicken people are very interesting. We are an interesting breed of human.
What we just learned here is if you want to see the three of us immediately rush to our laptops, say the words chicken peepers.
Correct. I mean,
it's oh my God, what the hell is she talking about?
You guys were Googling so fast you couldn't even see straight. You're just Googling.
We could probably use some of those chicken peepers for ourselves. Keep us on the straight and narrow.
Yeah,
here.
if you have a coworker who's a real pain and who likes to just boss everybody around, just pin them down and get some peepers on them.
I feel like somebody's going to bust in the studio and put the Google peepers on me real quick here.
Maybe tomorrow morning I wear glasses. Maybe I'll just put the googly eyes on my glasses and then not tell you guys. And then you'll look up and be like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah. It'll impede your vision just enough that you just chill out, Fletcher.
They already don't take me seriously, so I don't think I could get away with this. I just don't think it would work.
Hey, Elizabeth, did you guys take a trip, family vacation this summer or anything like that?
We did some cabin stuff. We always do a really fun cabin trip up to northern Wisconsin, which is we go. My husband was a hockey player, so he played for many years, and he played at University of Wisconsin, and so we've got some of his buddies that have a cabin, and we all get together, and then those guys tell the same stories every single year.
Oh, I know.
Isn't
that
that
trip.
Nice?
Yeah,
this trip.
Called being a hockey guy. That's what you do.
Gosh.
You just exchange the same stories over and over again.
And it's so amazing how he can remember so many things about every goal that was scored or every guy that did this, and then can't remember the thing that I told him 5 minutes ago about where we're going, what time we have to be there, and what we have to bring.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not as important as hockey.
Yeah. I don't know.
So the
We're
sooner
real
that you
simple, Elizabeth. I mean,
that is, with all due respect, the truth.
Yeah. Yeah. Just what it is. Elizabeth Ries, it is always a sincere pleasure to have you in studio. You come in the morning, you're just on fire every time. You're smiling, you're happy, you pick up the pace around here.
Listen,
so thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. It's a great day to be alive. I'm happy to be here. I love hanging out. I'll hang out as long as you want. I'm hydrated. I got a water bottle. I've got Fletcher in the studio. Ryder's here. It's a good day.
We're good.
Well, look, the hydration is what just sealed
crucial.
the deal. Don't go anywhere.
That's it. You got to have a water bottle.
It's right here.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. It is Monday, September the 8th. Elizabeth Ries is in studio with us.
Thanks for having me, friends. This is a great way to start the week, hanging out with my pals.
You really are lucky.
We're just a bunch of Cheshire Cat grins around this studio right now. Everybody's having a good time. We're feeling Minnesota, which is my way of saying, Paul Fletcher, give me some headlines, please.
All right. You remember the Farmer's Almanac said very cold and snowy.
Really?
That's what they said. That was a month and a half ago. Old Farmer's Almanac, they're different, said mild winter. Well, now science is chiming in. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, also known as NOAA, has issued a La Nina watch for the 25-26 winter season, meaning there's about a 55% chance of a weak La Nina that'll develop this fall and early winter before conditions return to neutral. And the La Nina occurs when the central and eastern Pacific Ocean cools more than usual. It typically causes the northern states, including Minnesota, to be colder and wetter than normal. So that's 2 out of 3. We're leaning winter wonderland and crossing our fingers here as well.
I'm here for it. I like the snow. If it's going to be cold, we might as well have snow. I know it can be a pain to drive in, but that's why we've got those fun names for our snow plows.
That's right. That's right.
That's exactly right. I'm glad to hear you say that. I'm hoping for a big old fashioned, honest to God winter. It's been a while. It's my first year here, 23. The spring and winter of 23, pretty solid. The last 2 winters, nothing. Bupkis. I'm feeling cheated.
Yeah, 100%. Couldn't agree more. Hey, Ryder, you can go ahead and just disconnect for this portion of headlines if you want. Apple is expected to unveil the thinnest iPhone ever at their product reveal event happening tomorrow. Along with iPhone 17, Apple is set to release the 17 Pro and the 17 Pro Max. Announcements at the, quote, awe-dropping event, I think that's what they're calling it, are also, are also expected on updates for the Apple Watch and AirPods as well, new Apple Watches and iPods. What? iPod?
Yeah, an iPod. I want an iPod.
Bringing it back?
And I think that they totally should. I want iPods for my kids because I want them to have the music and stuff. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. I am of two minds, guys. I want that super skinny phone, and at the same time, I want to go back to a flip phone. There's no middle ground for me, and I don't know where I'm supposed to live.
I think given what you do for a living, I think iPhone is probably best. But then when you're done, go back to flip phone.
Go back to flip phones. There were people, speaking of the fair, there were people at the fair who only have a flip phone. And they would bring like a regular camera and a flip phone. And I would corner them and I would grab them by the shoulders and I'd be like, tell me your ways. How are you surviving in the wild like this?
What planet are you from? The event is tomorrow at noon. And I got to go double check this. It does say new Apple Watches and iPods. Like, I thought the iPod was a thing of the past.
This is very exciting.
It's crazy.
Do you remember the iPod Mini? I mean, you guys, that was so amazing. And then the different colors.
Oh, yeah. It was just adorable. Foreigner has formally asked to be a part of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's love story. In an Instagram post, the band wrote, quote, "Dear Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, we know what love is." See what they did there?
I like it.
"We spent 40 years figuring it out, and now you guys have too. Please accept this as our formal offer to be your wedding band. Best wishes, Foreigner." So far, neither Travis nor Taylor have responded.
I know this much about any band, and that's going to include Foreigner. Some of the guys in the band think that's really funny, and some of them just want to fight about it. Who put that up there? Who thought this was funny? You just can't get, anything like that, you throw it out there. So at least one guy in the band is like, I can't believe we offered to be Taylor Swift's wedding band. It's not funny. We have to be cool. Yeah, I could just see the back and forth of the members of Foreigner. Yeah. Trust me, it's tense. It's tense in the Foreigner camp right now.
I bet they hire a DJ. Like
it makes me think
based
of the
on this offer.
I saw the Larry the Cable Guy. He had one joke that I always thought was so funny, and he said he went to his fraternity's 25th, his senior class college, his frat house 25th anniversary, and he said, well, we were going to hire a Marshall Tucker tribute act, but they were too expensive, so we hired the Marshall Tucker Band.
Wow. Ouch.
Pretty great joke.
That's good.
It's a low blow.
Reality bites.
Hey,
reality bites. What are you going to do?
According to a report, 47% of Americans would pay more for a vacation that helps them sleep.
Yes.
38% would be interested in a vacation that's, quote, designed to improve their sleep. And apparently sleep travel is emerging as a trend. People have been Googling getaways like wellness travel, sleep resort, and quiet vacation. Elizabeth, what do you think about this concept?
Oh, you guys, you got to make your home a place you don't need a vacation from. You
Right.
just have to create the right sleep environment, and you got to tone down the coffee in the afternoon, and go for a walk. Stop staring at your phone until the middle of the night. Don't you think? People have very bad sleep hygiene in this country. We do. We have very bad sleep hygiene.
Interesting that you call it hygiene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
But I agree with all of what you just said. And by the way, Madison, Wisconsin, and St. Paul, Minnesota scored very well on this report for having the right balance of health, environment, and lifestyle to support quality sleep. So apparently in St. Paul, they're sleeping great.
You guys, I wear a sleep mask. I tape my mouth shut at night.
You
I have a
tape
sound
your
machine.
mouth
Oh,
shut?
heck yeah. Tape your mouth shut. You got to do all that. You've got to lock in. Ben Lieber jokes that I must look like I'm in a hostage situation every night when I go to bed. But
Sounds right.
I want it completely dark. I live in the city and there's street lights,
Yeah.
So I put on a sleep mask and I like to wake up to natural light coming into the room. And then taping your mouth shut. You should not be sleeping with your mouth wide open.
Right.
But are we using like duct tape? What kind of tape are we?
No,
this is a big.
You can
this is
just
kind of
buy.
important.
You can buy it.
Mouth tape.
Yeah, mouth tape. Just buy it, and you can even use just like surgical tape. You don't. You can just make a little X over your mouth, and you don't have to tape it so that it's so claustrophobic. Just a little tape, just to keep your mouth closed. I'm not a doctor. I'm just playing one on the radio.
Yes,
okay,
that's fine.
so this is not formal medical advice.
Thank you for clarifying.
You're welcome.
Hey, do you guys care to wrap this thing up? Do you guys care to guess who was last in this report?
New
for sleep?
York.
It's a good guess.
Oh, that is a good guess.
The city that never sleeps, after all.
Yeah, that's a good.
I don't think they were, for what it's worth, I don't think they were considering partying and like having a good time as
I'm
part of
thinking
this.
about like what are the states that are always listed as the least healthy? So like Mississippi or something.
Okay, Steve?
Arkansas.
I'm going to go with Miami.
The answer is Philadelphia.
What's wrong with them?
Really?
They don't meet the criteria of this report. It's not, and they said not in a good way. They
Late
said,
night cheesesteaks? Is that what's going on?
perhaps, yeah. Maybe beating each other up, maybe beating up Vikings fans on the way out of the stadium, things like that.
They're not nice.
Just too much anger. Too much anger to get anything done there.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of anger, the Northwestern State football team's probably a little ticked off that they had agreed that the athletic director said, "Yeah, let's go play the Minnesota Gophers."
Shoot.
What could go wrong? 66-0 is what could go wrong.
Ooh.
So that's a bad game of football for Northwestern State. Great game for the U. But the real story of the game is the stadium loves to celebrate Minnesota's touchdowns and field goals with fireworks. They ran out of fireworks.
Oh, no.
Nobody had 66 points worth of fireworks on the bingo card. And so apparently after they got into the 60s, they were like, sorry, guys, this is all we got. I mean, they didn't even have like those little champagne poppers or bottle rockets or
Sparklers?
or Black Cat firecrackers. They had not even a sparkler to be found. They ran out of fireworks. You want to know what it's like to, that's an old-fashioned ass stomping right there. That's just all there is to it.
We
when you
beat
run
the
out
brakes out of
fireworks,
them so badly. We ran out of fireworks. Yeah, just complete
Certainly did.
denomination.
As we have mentioned several times, Monday Night Football tonight, the Minnesota Vikings in Chicago. The Vikings, a 1.5-point favorite in the debut of J.J. McCarthy as the quarterback, going up against the previous year's number 1 draft pick, Caleb Williams. This is Ben Johnson's first game as an NFL head coach. He left the Lions, as their offensive coordinator for several years. He's a wunderkind, as they like to say. We'll see what happens. I believe that Brian Flores and the defense will be the determining factor. I like Minnesota to win this game. Elizabeth, we talked earlier about songs that we're picking for our teams, and I went with Devo's Uncontrollable Urge because I have an uncontrollable urge to actually predict a tremendous season for the Vikings, a playoff run of great depth, and I think it's going to be the kind of season we all look back on and go, man, remember JJ's rookie year, 13, 14 wins? That's right, I'm calling it.
Wow.
I'm optimistic. I'm not going with this whole Vikings woe is me crap. I'm saying it's going to be a dominant year, especially when we play those Green Bay Packers. There, I said it.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I do like that JJ McCarthy.
I'll tell you what, his
What's
speech.
not to like?
Yeah, he's great.
His speech is good. I mean, if you weren't here, I might rip my shirt off and run through a wall.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen because I have more respect for you than that. But I mean,
What about the wall? Don't you respect the wall?
No. I mean, no. Steve's got me that wound up.
Hang on 1 second.
What happened?
I almost forgot. Carver. Want to take a quick moment and say good morning to our friends in
hi,
Carver.
Carver, Minnesota.
Yes, Carver.
We love Carver.
Yeah.
It's a good spot.
What's going on? What's happening on Twin Cities Live? What do you want to plug? What's cool? What do we need to know about it, Elizabeth?
We're getting back at it. You know who's going to be co-hosting with me today is our former sports director, Joe Schmidt. Joe
cool.
retired,
Oh, wow.
and he is going to be filling in today because Ben is traveling with the Vikings, so he is in Chicago for the big Monday night game. So Ben is off today, and Joe said that he would come back and hang out with me. So that'll be really fun. If you've been missing Joe Schmidt on TV, today's the day to tune in and watch him today at 3 on Twin Cities Live.
Wonderful.
Right on. Very nice. Elizabeth, thanks so much. Always great to have you.
Anytime. You guys know it's a quick zip for me to pop over here. I might just start showing up uninvited, but we're
Game
not
on.
quite at
We're
that
good.
level, but we're close. We're getting
there.
there. I can feel it.
Would it help if I did the thing where I took my shirt off and ran through a wall? Would
Yes, it would.
We're big fans of the quick zip. Always have been.
Yeah.
Quick zip.
Yeah. Just, I dare you. Dare you to surprise us.
That would be really fun. I'll just text Ryder one morning
No,
and just
don't.
be like,
Just show up.
just show up. I know, but you guys keep your doors locked. What am I supposed to do? I don't have a key card yet.
You would have to text her to get in.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah, somebody's got to let me in.
Right.
We are loading up a Monday morning mixtape. Your NFL team, your feelings for that team, summed up in a song. It could be, it could be bullish. It could be bearish. It could be completely sociopathic. Whatever happens to you when you think of your team's chances and prospects for the season, what song comes to mind, ladies and gentlemen? Ryder, we've already seen your team, the Detroit Lions. I'm almost afraid to ask what's on your mind.
Oh, I'm just going to steal this pick from Neil. Some Chumbawamba tub summoning. It's game one. We got new coordinators. We can rally. Nobody's nervous.
No, shouldn't be.
No.
Very true.
As a Lions fan, can never be disappointed, only pleasantly surprised.
Plus, on the road. And you know what? Lambeau is a tough place to play. You know, it doesn't matter whose team's what. You know, it's a tough place to go play. So
651-989-ROCK. Let us know your thoughts, your song for the mixtape. Paul Fletcher, what's on your mind?
I won't be fooled again.
Little NCIS feeling right
Listen.
here.
Listen. I've been kicked in the I've been kicked in the junk too many times by this team. There's promise, there's hope, but I won't be fooled again. I'll believe it when I see it. That's just how I do it. I'm sorry. I've been beaten up too many times.
I know, and I'm sure you're hardly alone. There are many, many people listening going, yep, yeah, I'm kind of with them there. I got to tell you, man, I'm going in a different direction. And I you know, look, this is my third year in town. And I will just explain to anybody who's not aware, I was already a Vikings fan. That's been my NFC team for years before I got to town.
Okay.
Moving here from Nashville, Tennessee Titans were number one. Vikings were my NFC, my side piece, I like to call them.
Okay.
Right.
But now that I'm here, it's like, no, man, I'm on board.
Nice.
And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to throw caution to the wind because I've got yet again, an uncontrollable urge to call my shot right now.
Here we go.
13 wins
Ooh.
again. JJ, Rookie of the Year. You heard me. This team is going deep into the playoffs with JJ McCarthy. This year, I have an uncontrollable urge to stick it in your face, Skull fans. Get on board. Be optimistic.
Yes.
Don't give me all that, oh, I'm not going to get excited. No, screw that. Let's go. And if they lose tonight, I'll regret I'll actually deny ever having said any of this. Come on, doesn't it make you want to watch some football?
Yes, it does.
Yes,
You actually got me a little pumped up.
That's a very
Hell
good
yeah,
pick.
I did.
Very good pick.
There are very few things wrong in the world that Devo cannot fix.
That's
Remember
true.
that.
That is very true. I'm going to keep my wall up.
Exactly how that works.
But you chipped it away. You chipped away at it a little bit.
651-989-ROCK. Let's put together your your Monday morning mixtape. Very excited about football season beginning in the Twin Cities tonight. It's actually in Chicago, but you know what I'm saying. What song comes to mind when you think of your favorite team? What is it? I already threw out Uncontrollable Urge by Devo because I have an uncontrollable urge to predict greatness for Skull Nation. I'm not going on any. I'm not going to be the kind of guy who says, well, if we're 500 with a rookie quarterback, it'll be great. No, screw that. Let's go win ourselves a title. Come on.
Wow.
Just saying. 651-989-ROCK. I have to imagine no shortage of text messages have come in with people's suggestions.
I leaned on the Who, Won't Get Fooled Again, because I feel like I've been tricked many, many times. And Mark kind of is on the same page, I think. He said, Phil Collins, I don't care anymore.
Oh, boy. Oh.
That's pretty strong. It's funny, though.
I get the pain. I feel it, but I just can't. I can't abide. Jet, he said, don't bring me down, ELO. And I was like, yeah, okay, I get it. But see, he's not saying he doesn't care anymore. So there's still a little bit of love for the possibility of success from Jet out there, which I appreciate, Jet.
Chris from Bloomington is a Lions fan, much like Ryder, and said Aerosmith's Same Old Song and Dance.
Oh, yeah.
Well, which old song?
Yesterday was rough.
So that's the same old song. The new song and dance, as in the last few years, has been pretty good over there in the Motor City. But yeah, the old song and dance. I grew up in a Lions family. I was never a Lions fan, but my older siblings and my dad, that was their team. And yeah, it was there's a lot of pain. There's a lot of pain that's associated with the, what is it? The silver and Hawaiian blue, or Hawaiian silver and blue? What are the colors?
Honolulu blue.
Yeah.
I do Hawaiian, didn't sound right. Honolulu blue. That's right.
One last
something blew yesterday in Green Bay. Ooh, boy.
Yeah.
What a game.
One last text from Tubby. Vikings starter song right now, Van Halen. So he's feeling the way you're feeling, apparently.
Yeah. Tubby's always got my back. I appreciate that, brother. 651-989-ROCK. Let us know your suggestions, your song, your team. What comes to mind? I saw Oasis Saturday night at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California.
Yes.
And before the show, here's your last word. An airplane was flying around the stadium nonstop with one of those signs trailing behind it.
Okay.
Like you'd see at the beach or something,
Selling mattresses.
Get more shrimp at Penrod's. Yeah, whatever. I looked up and it said, "You're safe. There's no kiss cam here."
Are you serious?
That was it. Still taking shots at Coldplay.
Excellent.
That's awesome.
Gotta love the Gallagher brothers.
Yeah.
Tomorrow on Gorman in the Morning, we will have a little something called WTF, Wisconsin, Texas, Florida. Fletcher's edition. We'll be giving away TAP 25 tickets. Fletcher, speaking of Fletcher on the air, what's coming up next, sir?
I got a couple of slide songs coming up in the 10 o'clock hour. Also, tickets to Field of Bands and commercial free right around 11:45.
Gorman in the Morning is also Gorman on the go. Get the 92 KQRS app and stream live or catch the Gorman in the Morning podcast anytime. 92 KQRS.